Hey everyone, welcome back to Slowpoke Racing. I forgot who I was then, and Ultimate Racing League for our BTCC Championship. This is round 8. We're in Italy at Sardegna, and we're on the C layout. This is race 2. Fantastic racing in race 1, which saw Neil Farmack take the win just ahead of Grasshopper and Brian Moncani. And yeah, this is race 2, so it's going to be just as tight, I'm sure. Now then, this is, or should be, a completely random grid. Now, I do know there has been a few rumblings amongst the drivers that are not happy with the completely random grid. I can see both sides of the story. They're saying that it can sort of ruin things through no fault of their own, especially if you're battling for a title. But it also, I think it throws up, well, all sorts of shenanigans. But we'll see. I'm pretty sure this one is a random one. But, well, I've been trying to find out, but I've had nothing back. So we're just going to go with it that it is random. It looks random. It looks very random. So, yeah, it's going to be an interesting race. So let's get the normal camera I like to use so we can have a look down. And our new driver, Nath, has been put on pole position. So it's going to be interesting to see what he can do from there. Stormfly, he's second on the grid. Good result for him. Brian Moncani starting third again. He started third in race 1 as well, so a good draw for him. Scooby in 4th. Unforgiven is 5th. Wadru is 6th. He is ahead of Neil Farmack, which he needs to get some points on the board. Does Wadru? Sorry. Grasshopper in 7th. Neil Farmack in 8th. Current championship leader and winner of race 1. Down in 8th, Brownie is 9th, and poor old Stealth drew the short straw and is right down there in the back. Although that Focus is like a certain substance off a shovel when it comes to these starts. So he may be able to make up a couple of places. We shall see as we get... Excuse me, I'm off again. So let's get this second race underway, shall we? We'll go through the tyres as the guys are racing because some of them would have changed their tyres. Remember, mediums have to be used in at least one race, so we shall see what's happening there. So Nath gets us underway, but Stormfly already putting a challenge in as he goes for the inside line down the hill towards turn 1, and Stormfly makes his intentions very clear from the outset and gets the lead straight the way. So Stormfly now takes over the lead of this race. He's got Nath chasing him down. Brian Moncani right on the bumper of Nath as well. So Brian Moncani having a look at the inside of Nath as they go through turn 4. Is he going to get that job done? I think he is. So Brian Moncani now on to second. Nath being absolutely mugged. Neil Farmack has gone through into 3rd. So Nath now drops down to 4th. Unforgiven, he's also going to be on the attack with Grasshopper following him through with Scooby just behind. Stealth did get that great start that we thought he would. He's up to 9th. Well, he was in 8th, but he's now dropped down to 9th. Wadru just got ahead, but now can the Focus put his foot down? And yes, it can. Look, Stealth just flying along that straight down towards turn 1. I think it has just got 1, maybe 2 more beans than the Mercedes in a straight line, but it is very difficult to handle in the turns, and that's where Wadru's going to try and make his ground up. Brownie stuck to the backside of Wadru as we go through these first couple of turns, and now Brownie in the Civic going to have a bit of a look up the inside at turn 4. Has he got it done? Yes, he has. Just pulls over to the side a bit. I think no, he didn't. Wadru retook the place again. I thought Brownie had got through. Oh, and Nath spun. We've got a spinner. I think it's the first one I've seen anyway, so we do have a spinner. So let's just have a quick look and see what happened to Nath. I'm sure he doesn't want to see it again, but the crowd absolutely love a spin. So let's have a look and see what's happened. It's at turn 4. No, he got through there okay, so no problem at turn 4. Is it through turns 5 or 6? A big chunk of curb. Yeah, that was it then. Big chunk of curb at turn 5. Unsettled the car and sent him all over the track until finally face planting barrier there. So unlucky for Nath. Started on pole, now finds himself down in 10th with a bit of a hill to climb to catch back up to the pack. But like I said, in race one, it is a learning curve with these cars, and hopefully we shall see him come back even better, even stronger in the next couple of rounds. Up at the front then, Stormfly, a bit squirrely there out of what was that, out of turn 2, was it? Turn 1 for Stormfly, and that's allowed Brian Moncani to get right alongside of him. These two had a fantastic battle in race 1, and Brian Moncani getting on the inside of Stormfly. Stormfly having to go a little bit wide to avoid contact, and it is a rolling roadblock now as Neil Farmack is sitting there having a look and thinking, well, come on boys, move over and let me through. We're going on board with Neil Farmack as he goes on the inside of Stormfly as well through turns 9 into turn 10. It is Stormfly still on the inside. Neil Farmack trying to get the cutback, needs to get a good exit out of turn 10. He has, and he is right up the chuff of Stormfly, and now it is the Genesis power against that BMW, and the Genesis just seems to have too many beans, and through he goes. Stormfly relegated to P3 already. Brian Moncani out in front, so it is the two coupes leading this race at the minute. Brian Moncani trying to get away from Neil Farmack. Neil Farmack doing the same to Stormfly, although Stormfly seems to be a little quicker through some of these turns. And yeah, he definitely gets a lot closer to Neil through the turns. So let's just get out of this and have a look at some of the racing, shall we? And follow Stormfly through these turns. He's definitely quicker through the turns, but Neil Farmack's got the pace in a straight line. So through turn 10 they go again. Brian Moncani just ahead of Neil Farmack and Stormfly, although that wasn't a fantastic exit from Brian Moncani. That's allowed Neil and Stormfly to get a little bit closer. These three starting to pull away from the rest of the pack. You can see there's quite a gap now. We're just going to follow these into turn 1, and then we'll have a look and see what's happening elsewhere. I did say we'd have a look at the tyres as well, didn't we? So Brian Moncani and Neil Farmack, Stormfly all on the soft tyres. Scooby also on the softs. He's currently sitting in 4th, so good race for him so far. Unforgiven in 5th. He's on the mediums. He's got Grasshopper all over the back of him. Grasshopper in the mediums. We knew he would. We said in race 1 that Grasshopper does like to use the mediums in race 2, and he's really getting up in the business of Unforgiven, isn't he? Putting the pressure on. Stealth also on the mediums in 7th. So started 10th on the grid, did Stealth. He's up to 7th. So managed to gain a few spots for him in the Focus. And the Focus again very quick in a straight line, and I think it's he's going to keep ahead of Wadru. Wadru also on the mediums. So this little group all on the medium tyres. Brownie and Nathan at the back like they were in race 1. So struggling a little bit, but Brownie on the medium tyres and Nath on the soft. So Nath may be able to make a move on Brownie and get P9 away from him using the softer compound. We'll have to keep a close eye on that one. Let's just go mid-pack again and see what's happening as the Unforgiven tries to close Scooby down, but he's also got to try and keep Grasshopper behind him, so a bit of defending to do for Unforgiven. Grasshopper, a great exit out of turn 10. He is now all over the back of Unforgiven, pulls to the inside, and now it's just a drag race. The BMW against the Merc as they go down the hill again to turn 1. Grasshopper is on the inside. Now is Unforgiven going to get a little bit earlier on the brakes, try and get the cutback? That's exactly what he's looked at, but Grasshopper wise to that one, or is he? No, Unforgiven has got himself on the inside. A great positioning for Unforgiven. Knew exactly what he wanted to do at turn 1 and has managed to keep himself on the inside. So into turn 4 they go. Grasshopper tries to go around the outside and manages to hold on to it. So great racing from Grasshopper. He could have easily lost that car, get it onto the grass, but didn't. Kept it straight, and keeps that P5 with Unforgiven being frustrated in P6. Stealth in 7th, trying to keep up with the two in front of him, but he's also got a mirror full of Wadru. Wadru really not enjoying these last few rounds. and it doesn't look like he'd settle into this one. It's not like him to be down here in mid to back of the pack. He likes to be up at the front, but finds himself in an alien world, does Wadru. It's down here with other cars around him. He's not used to that, is he? So some fantastic battles going on here. So I'm just going to have a quick look up at the top and see what's happening at the pointy end, and it is Brian Moncani still out in front, just holding off Neil Farmack. So the two Genesis Coupes leading the way, with Stormfly and the BMW glued to the back of Neil Farmack's car. So on board with Stormfly, 650 metre dash down this straight, past the start finish line to start lap 9, into turn 1, into the braking zone, just about the 100 board. Get that car slowed down enough. Don't want to drift too far to the right because you end up in that kitty litter, nicking as much curb as you dare, but as you can see, there is grass on the other side of it, and if you do get your wheels on the grass, then it is good night. So Stormfly definitely quicker through the turns, but just hasn't got the pace in a straight line to keep up the two boys in front of him. So he's going to have to do all of his work through these corners as they go up the hill through turn 9 into turn 10. And this is where Stormfly can make up a bit of ground, but he does lose it on these straights, unfortunately, although he's got the slipstream. But you can just see those Genesis just pulling away. Brian Moncani still leading then as we go across the start-finish line to complete a lap with Stormfly. Very frustrated at the minute, but those Genesis really are quick, aren't they, in a straight line. Scooby then sitting in 4th. He's had a good outing in Sardegna so far. I think he finished in 5th, I think it was, in race 1. He's now in 4th at the minute in the BMW. He's followed by another BMW driver, and that's Grasshopper. Grasshopper on the medium tyres, Scooby on the softs. Grasshopper, we do know he's very good on the medium tyre, very good at looking after his tyres actually, is Grasshopper. So he's just going to keep chipping away. Now then, we've got about 5.5 minutes of the race 2 to go, so about another 5 laps for these guys. Fastest lap out there at the minute belongs to Stormfly of 56.6. So Grasshopper, like I say, about another 5 laps if he wants to get that P4 away from Scooby. Unforgiven still sitting in 6th. On his own a bit now. A little bit of breathing space for Unforgiven. Stealth, on the other hand, has not such luxuries. He's still got Wadru chasing him down. And I think it's the same situation that Stormfly's got actually. It's Stealth is just a little bit quicker in a straight line than Wadru's Merc. But the Mercedes can make up a bit of ground through the turns. Stealth in the focus. It's very slidey through the turns, and especially mid-race it just seems to well, we don't know what happens to it. It just seems mid-race, it just seems to throw wobbly and is really difficult to control. Maybe because it's getting a little bit lighter as it burns through the fuel, I don't know. But certainly quick in a straight line is that focus. Wadru then just sitting behind him. Then we've got quite a decent gap then back to Nath in 9th. He managed to get by Brownie in 10th. Whether Brownie's had another issue, I'm not so sure, but that Civic really has struggled this season. But Brownie keeps plugging away. He'll keep going and going and going. Great looking car, I do like the look of it, and it does look the part of the BTCC championship, but as I say, it's just not got the pace and the power to keep up with the guys in front. So back up to the top. Oh, we've had a change of lead now then. Let's just see if I can see where that was. No, I've got to go back too far. Sorry, but we missed that. But Neil Farmack has managed to get himself in front of Brian Moncani, and so has Stormfly. So maybe Brian Moncani made a mistake. That's all I can think of, and apologies we missed it, but Brian Mulcahy had probably made a mistake. Neil Farmack and Stormfly have both gone through. Neil Farmack takes the lead. Stormfly goes into second with Brian in third. Still looking good for a podium finish is Brian, and that seems to be a regular occurrence with him actually, especially these last few weeks. He's found himself up on the podium. Definitely got a taste for champagne. But yeah, it's all I can think of is that he's had a bit of an issue and is now finding himself down in P3. So with 2.5 minutes to go, we're probably looking at, what, 2 laps? Neil Farmack leading, Stormfly in second, Brian Mulcahy is third, Scooby sitting in fourth. Looking good actually for fourth. It's the BMW against the BMW, and that gap is just being maintained, so Grasshopper just cannot quite get close enough to him. He's only going to have, like I say, a couple of laps if he wants to get P4, but yeah, a bit of work to do. He's just got to hope that Scooby makes an error or two. Unforgiven still sitting in 6th. Bit of breathing space between himself and Stealth, who's still currently holding on to 7th, with Woodrow just behind him. And then we've got Nath and Brownie bringing up the rear. So winner of race 1 is actually looking comfortable for another win. This is not going to hurt his championship campaign one little bit. Currently topping the league table at the minute. He was just going into this round, he was 3 points ahead of his closest rival, which was Wadru. And Wadru, well, not had a good couple of rounds, and this one is proving to be exactly the same. So Neil Farmack, this is his chance to actually start stretching away from Wadru. Stormfly, this is going to help his cause. He's actually 48 points adrift from Wadru in the championship. Now then, Stormfly, if he can get himself up onto the podium and Wadru can does finish down in 8th, then that's going to do his campaign the world of good as well, isn't it? As we see Neil Farmack coming around turn 10, he's going to get one more lap in, as is Stormfly in P2. I'm just keeping an eye on the clock. We're just coming up to the last 30 seconds. Brian Mulcahy in third, he will get another lap in as well. I think everybody should get another lap in actually. Grasshopper across the line to start lap 16. Then we've got Unforgiven, Stealth and Wadru. They're both going to get another lap in. Now then, Will Nath with 15 seconds to go. Don't think Brownie will. Nath might just slide across the start-finish line to get another lap in. And I think he does. Yes, he does. And I think Brownie's going to be the first to finish down in 10th. So Brownie across the line then in 10th. Back up to the top then, and Neil Farmack has already rounded turn 10 and is staring at the checkered flag. So Neil Farmack is going to take another win, second of the day. So well done to Neil Farmack. Stormfly takes second. Fantastic racing from him. Brian Mulcahy, we missed it, but unlucky for him, he takes third. Scooby in fourth. Grasshopper across the line in fifth. Unforgiven will get 6th, with Stealth behind him in 7th, just ahead of Wadru in 8th, Nath in 9th, and as we saw, Brownie across the line in 10th. So that was race 2. One more race to go, and I believe it's going to be at sunset. So a bit of a cooler track, could make all the difference. We shall see. Join me very shortly for that though, won't you? I shall be back.